Okay, I'm back. I've got a new video now. What I'm going to talk about is we've just unboxed everything. We're going to take this press and we're going to install it to this bench. So we're going to kind of set it up and get it ready to go. So the unboxing's done. Now we're going to mount. I've got a bowl full of hardware here. There's some lock nuts, some flat washers, some little bit smaller flat washers, miscellaneous bolts, and a few lock washers. And these are 1/4 inch by 20 thread bolts. When I referred to the manual earlier, they gave a recommendation of being 1 foot away from the edge of the table, if I remember correctly. So I'm going to do that now. So let me find my pencil and my tape measure, and I'll get that 1 foot measurement. So I'm coming up against here. I'm going to come out 1 foot. There's my mark right there. I marked it earlier. Right there. 1, 2. So now that I have that marked, I'll be able to make my press mount. I'm going to come through here, put it up against my marks, and since I have a real thick carpenter's pencil, I'm not going to be able to get those lines in, so I'm going to come over back here and grab a regular school pencil. This is going to be the pencil that I'm going to use to mount, to mark where the holes are going to need to be. So I'm just going to go in through the 4 of these holes. Hope you can see this. But I'm just taking this pencil and I'm going down, I'm poking it down, and since the pencil's not going to fit down inside these deep holes, I'm just going to put a mark right there, and then I'll measure in. How far is it here? It's going to be about 1/4 inch, I think. Yeah, about 1/4 inch from those marks. So just make a rough outline of where the press is going to go. And from where those marks were, I'm going to come in 1/4 inch. I start at the 2 inch mark and then I just go from there. So basically the holes are going to be right there and right there. So now I need to make sure that I got those holes marked correctly, so I'm going to place the press back on the table and I'm going to just look and verify that the holes are where they're supposed to be. And they look good. Set this aside. I got a special drill bit because I'm going to be drilling down into this 2x4. So I got a total of, what is it, 6 inches or something like that? 5 inches of material that I have to go through. So a standard drill bit's not going to get me that deep. So I got this little bit longer drill bit. I'm going to find my drill over here. Adjust my clutch, and this is going to be the start of my holes. I want to try something real quick. I don't know if I can fit down in the holes to mark these 2 or not. Perfect. I'll just mark them that way then. Use the drill to mark them. And the other 2 I also had them marked already, so I'll go ahead and drill these down. These first ones are going to be difficult because I got to go pretty deep. This drill bit keeps filling up with sawdust, so I gotta pull it out occasionally. Sounds like I got a drill that has kind of a dead battery, so bear with me here. Let's find a better battery. So just bear with me. Okay, now I got some more horsepower here. This is a very long drill bit. And I got this bit at my local hardware store. Boy, that thing fills up quick. Okay. Now some of this stuff out of the way. Fairly clean anyway. I try to keep my workbench clean. Sometimes that's difficult. Alright, I got 2 down, 2 to go. These 2 aren't as bad because I'm only going through 1 layer of 2x material. And once again, back to the vacuum. Get some of this sawdust out of the way. Sounds like I need to invest in some new batteries. These old batteries ain't holding the charge like they used to. Put it on the charger. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these 2 short bolts and I'm going to put a flat washer basically against the press, and then I'm going to use a smaller flat washer, and then I'm going to use a lock washer. So this is the setup that I'm going to have on the top here. I know it might be a little bit overdue, I might be going a little bit more than I need, but who knows? You never know. I could probably get by with just the 1-inch flat washer, but I like to make things solid. So we'll put this bad boy down. Hopefully them holes will line up, and hopefully I won't have no issues getting all 4 of the bolts in. Looks like this hole here might be a little bit offset, so I think what I'm going to have to do is take a little bit of a 5/16 drill bit, a little bit fatter, and drill those ones at 5/16. Actually, I don't need to go that. Let's go to 9/32. I just want to make a hole a little bit bigger so that it'll catch the bolts a little easier. And I'll go down. Let's put this as far as it'll go, and we'll see how far we can get it. I'm using the Makita Ultra Fast Bit. Yes, I am biased on tools. I like Makita. Okay. Take that, put to the side. That should do it. Let me get that vacuum again. And get that sawdust out of the way. Okay, now since I'm going through 1.5 inch wood, I'm going to use these little bit longer ones. And if they're too long at the end, I'll take a little grinder and I'll grind them. And that's the only reason I'm using these little bit longer bolts, is because of the amount of washers and things that I like to use. But usually when I mount a vise or anything like that, I try to use these good long bolts, and I've had pretty good luck in the past with things, you know, when I mount them, things being nice and solid. So I'm going to just go out on a limb here and see how this works for me. I think it'll turn out just fine. So basically getting these 4 set up. Now let's put this press back in, and hopefully the widening of the bolts will make them, yeah, easier to put in. Looks like they're starting to slide right through. And let's see how they fit. Yep, got them all. Okay, are we long enough? These two are, but these back two are not. So these back two, what I'm going to do is I came up a little short, so I'm going to get rid of this and probably get rid of that. Let's try this right here, see if this is enough. I want that thing to be through. And this bolts, these long ones are a little bit short, but that's all they had at the hardware store. So I'm going to have to find a way to deal with that. Shouldn't be too bad though. I think what I'm going to end up doing is cutting a little groove into the bench itself so that the bolts can come out the bottom. But that'll be fine. So bear with me here.